everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm the EDPM boss. Now in this video, I'm going to be going through the EDPM 2026 paper 2 as requested, just to demonstrate for you what you were expected to do for each and every question on that paper. Now it was rather easier than expected paper, right? I would say, all right. Persons should have been able to manage that paper without challenge, without any much challenge, all right? But we're gonna be going through it and show you what you were expected to do, all right, as you anticipate your paper 1, all right? So let's go. So as you see on screen, this is the question 1 from the 2026 paper, all right? Now it's a basic letter, a letter in block style, as you can see, right, in the instruction. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the necessary instructions and show you how you should have attempted this question. All right. So first thing says create an or edit letterhead template using suitable software and information below. All right, so we'll use Microsoft Word to create this quickly. All right, this is letterhead in the box right here. So we'll create this and then we go to the other instructions. All right, so I'm just going to display another document. Display both at once. And then we'll create the letterhead for you. All right. I'm just going to quickly type it in over here. Hope we can see my screen clearly. So we have Achievers High School, 138. Start code. Let's give elements. And all of this is supposed to be in Times New Roman. So the TNR stands for Times New Roman. All right, so you just put that in Times New Roman. All right, as seen right here, same Times New Roman. So the Achievers High School, the name of the organization should be on 16, should be in bold, and should be in all caps. We have that already. All right, and all this information must be centered. So we center align that information. Just bring it over a little. Yeah, so we center align that. What else? So all of this down here should be on size 12. So put that on 12 times New Roman as we know and center. All right, so let's type the other information. So to the left, we should have the telephone number. All right, we just press the tab key. That should bring us to a suitable position. All right, more likely center automatically. It will automatically do that for you. And the last part, email. notice a right tab is basically set. All right, and as I said, it will do that automatically for you. All right, or you can use the tab key, right, in the wrong information. So it's grandkeyman.com. All right. So basically, let me just enlarge the screen. Basically, this is how your letterhead should look. All right. Should look somewhat like this. All right. Now, you should have a logo as well. So they expect you, as I said, as I you know, majority of these questions always require you to insert an appropriate logo. All right, and they want to. So insert suitable logo here, insert suitable logo here. So as I always encourage you in my videos, when I'm preparing students for paper 12 exams, you just type the name of the organization. So you type the name of the school, Achievers High School, into Google. All right. So you do that. Achievers High School. You click on images, or you can put logo as well. And you choose one that you would say is suitable. All right. So you could use this one. Copy the image and we'll insert it in the header section. All right. So after you insert it, remember it's going to get large, right? We minimize the size of it. And we'll have to change the text wrapping option as we talked about, right? So we can put it on in front text and we can minimize it so that it is, it looks suitable. All right. Now we can copy and paste it as they want to. All right. So copy the one that we created and we'll end up with two of them. All right. So basically that's how your letterhead should look. All right. So let's go back to the instructions. So after creating that as your letterhead, next instruction is save the template as letterhead underscore template and upload to your folder. All right. So you would save this basically. All right. I'm not going to save it, but you would save this as letterhead underscore template. And then after doing so, the next instruction says using letterhead template created in 1A. All right. Type the letter below in block style, utilizing full punctuation. So you would retrieve, after saving a document, basically you retrieve it, right? And you will use this same letterhead, right, to type the letter that they have below in block style, all right? Now, before you start to type letter, follow the other instructions. Apply the following page setup. So they want margins and 1 inch all around. It should be on that by default, but we can always go and check. We go to margins, see it says normal, and you know how to change margins, right? We just close the header. We should know how to change margins, all right? So this is where we'll change the margins if we're instructed to do so. But by default, it should be on 1 inch all around. All right. So the next instruction, single line spacing. So we put it on single line spacing. That's 1.0. All right. And correct all spelling errors identified. Save the document as letter and upload to your folder. All right. So let's look at the letter now. Let me enlarge the screen. So this is a letter right here, as seen on screen. So align left margin. So you have the reference right here. So you write the reference, you type the reference, and then in bracket they say put your initials. All right. After that, you insert the day's date. Note to typists, please utilize full punctuation and Times New Roman size 12. All right, so you're going to apply full punctuation. All right, so you use up your punctuation marks, even in the address. All right here, bold and uppercase, private and confidential. So this will be displayed after the date, and then this would be the recipient's address. All right, the information for the recipients are the inside address. All right. So as they say right here, align inside address to the left. And here we have the salutation as displayed. All right. So after you type up this information, look at the body right here. Now, you are not going to type this out just as how you see it in this manner. You would put the name of the person first, then you skip a line, and then you put their position. So school supervisor, right? Level 3, basically, Department of Education Services. Then you start with the address, 130 Thomas Russell Avenue, and so forth. Right here, the Cayman Islands says UC, so you know that's uppercase. All right. So after typing the salutation, I said, addressing the use of artificial intelligence, AI, by students. This would be the subject heading. So in the instruction, it says right here, initial caps and underscore subject heading. So this right here is the subject heading, all right? You're seeing NP right here, which you know stands for new paragraph. You see the forward slash, all right? You see two of them. So it's new paragraph. So the paragraph will start here as. So you skip your line after you have inserted the subject heading, and you will start the paragraph. The first paragraph will start out here, right? Right, as AI tools become. All right, here they said retain abbreviation throughout. So you're not going to spell out artificial intelligence. You're going to put AI, right? As they said, you should retain abbreviation throughout. All right. Otherwise, you go through the document, you type it as displayed, right? Making necessary corrections. You remove this section right here, thoughts on, right? So that should be removed. And you type following the instructions, right? Spelling out the abbreviations unless otherwise instructed. All right. So right here, you should have classroom as this is an insert symbol. All right. Down here, we have run on. So you know this, where you see to address these concerns, this paragraph, this separated paragraph would join this one. So it would be one paragraph. This would make one paragraph instead of two. All right here, you have to discuss. Now, many persons may think this should be deleted. However, right here, remember we see the sign STT, state, means leave unchanged. So we would type this information regardless of the fact that it's crossed out, right? So it's crossed out, broken line underneath, the sign state, you put the information back instead of erasing it. All right. Down here, the letter continues. It says, please format page 2 appropriately, consistent with block style layout. All right. Now, you should have learned how to type a 2-page letter, right? You should have learned how to do that when you are doing business correspondence. There's a procedure that you follow when you are doing a 2-page letter, a letter that includes more than 1 pages, right? So we'll show you to do that. You're supposed to have page 2 of 2, right? Or page 2, you're supposed to have the date and um, the recipient, the person we are sending the letter to. All right, so we'll show you that as we display how the document should actually look. All right. So right here, retain abbreviation. So you're going to insert the PTA. You're not going to write out Parent Teachers Association in this case. All right here, they have general, should be inserted right here. So notice of extraordinary general meeting. And over here it says, please enumerate items and apply initial caps. So what they want you to do right here is to put it in a numbered list. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so you're going to put it in a numbered list. All right, and down here is good. All right, so you type as instructed, you'd remove this. You will type out the information in this case. All right, and down here now, many persons may not be so sure of what you are expected to do here. Now, it's important that you read through the document that will assist you, right, in knowing what to do. So right here, this ATT and a full stop, you should know that stands for attachment, right? And even in the bracket, it says include total number of attachments here. Now, you may be wondering, how do you know the number of attachments? You didn't see anything in the instructions saying so. But right here, if you should read, right? It says in preparation for the planned meeting, I'm seeking your feedback and approval to disseminate the under-mentioned information during the PTA meeting, right? And in the letter, a number of items would have been listed, right? So basically, they want the person to review these items right here. So notice of extraordinary meeting, chairman's agenda, right? So these include what? 4. So 4 items are right here. So basically 4 attachments, right? So you're going to put attachment. You can write out the attachments and you put the 4 in bracket. All right. So basically that's what you were expected to do. So I'm just going to show you now how the completed document should basically look. All right. So it should look somewhat like this. So you have your letterhead as instructed, following the instructions, right? You have the reference with the initials, with your initials, right? So your first initial for your first name, initial for your last name. All right, I just put EB here for EDPM boss. You put your date, private and confidential, remember that? And they say it's supposed to be in full capital letters, right? And this is how you could put the information for the inside address, right? And remember they said you have to put punctuation, all right? So you put comma after each, all right? So the salutation, I remember the subject heading, all right? So you type it as instructed, all right? Following all the instructions. Remember it's block style, everything goes to the left as displayed there. And this is how the page 2 will be set up, all right? So you have page 2 of 2, the date, and Miss Pamela De Silva, right? The name of the person we are sending the letter to. All right here, as remember, they wanted a enumerated list, right? So as you see right here, we listed 1 to 4 items, all right? And at the end, attachments 4, all right? And where we got the 4 from, these were the attachments that would be included, all right? For the person to review and give feedback, all right? So basically, that's how your document should have looked. All right, students. So simple as that. All right. So as I said, not too challenging as it relates to the question. It wasn't too challenging. It's quite straightforward. All you had to do was follow the instructions, follow the necessary instructions, and apply the necessary changes. All right. So that's for the question 1, the letter question, the block style letter. I'm going to move to the second question. All right. And let me look and see if anything else is there. Yes, so basically save the document as a letter and upload. So you'll have 2 documents. You have the letterhead, template, and you would have the letter, right, for question 1. All right, so let's move to question 2 quickly. So question 2. Question 2, as seen, is notice, right? Notice of a meeting, as seen. So it says using a letterhead template created in 1A, prepare the following document using A5 paper, right? Using A5 paper, landscape orientation, apply the following page setup. Top and bottom is to be at 0.6 inches. What else? Left is to be on 1 inch. Right is to be on 1.34. Use single line spacing. The font is Times New Roman and size 12 unless you're otherwise instructed. All right. So I'm going to do that firstly. Let me just do that firstly. All right. So remember the same letterhead. So you can always copy and paste it. All right. You could copy and paste the same letterhead from the letter, from the letter template. It doesn't matter. They just want to know that you have the same letterhead. All right. So after doing the letterhead, we just go back to it. Let me display both screens at once and we'll just follow the instructions. All right. So they're saying A5 paper. So you know that is under layout and size. So A5 paper. All right. If it is displayed like that, you know, you can always change the way in which it is displayed. All right. So A5 paper and landscape orientation. So let me just change the orientation. All right. And that looks, should be a little better. All right. So you want to ensure that your document is properly aligned. All right. So we'll work with it like that. All right. As changing of the size of the paper and the orientation will shift up the information that is displayed here. All right, but it looks good thus far. So let's see what the rest of the instruction says. All right, so the margins. So I've done the A5 paper and landscape orientation. The margins now, you know, we go to layout, go to margins as we talked about. And instructions are 0.6 for the top margin. All right, and the bottom margin as well. Left is to be on 1, you know, that's what it's on by default. And right should be on 1.31. All right, so we can just type that in. All right, I will press OK. Remember the numbers in the bracket would be if your computer is on centimeter measurement, right? But as we see, it's on inches. So it's good. We press OK. Line spacing, you know, it's 1.0, right? The Times New Roman font and size 12 as instructed. All right. So right here, persons may be looking at this instruction and they're not so sure what to do. All right. So right here, we have the heading Notice of Extraordinary General Meeting. Let's see what they say we are to do to it. So main heading is all caps, bold, and expanded 1.5 point, 1.5 pt, center, and insert footnote as indicated. All right. So I'm going to do the instructions and show you what you expected to do. All right. So it's coming out. All right. So we'll have in full caps, notice of extraordinary general meeting. All right. So all caps, bold. Let's follow the instructions. All caps, bold. Center, of course, we've already done that. The footnote, we do the footnote last. Expanded 1.5 point. All right. Now, when they say expand, let me just enlarge the screen. When they're saying the main heading should be an all caps bold and expanded 1.5 point, right? They're talking about the spacing, right? Talking about the spacing of the letters or between the letters. Now, many persons may not know about this, so I'm just going to show you what exactly they're talking about. All right, let me enlarge the screen. So they're talking about as I said, the spacing between the letters. So we can go to font right here and go to advanced. And when we do that, we look at spacing. So we are seeing spacing right here. And it says by. All right. So I'm going to put it on 1.5. All right. And we press OK. And if you notice, the spacing has changed. If I press undo, you see. All right. So the spacing has changed. So that's what they're talking about when they say expanded. All right. Expand the spacing by 1.5. All right. So yes. What else? And as you see, if you can realize, it actually looks like how I typed it on the document a while ago. Right? It's not closed up. Right? It's not close to each other. As you see, there's a little bit of space between each letter. All right. So yes, as I said, we'll do the footnote at the end. All right. As you know, footnote comes at the bottom of the document. All right. So we'll show you that. All right. So after doing that, Parent Teacher Association, as you know, that will go in the center. They're saying initial caps. Let me zoom this up a little bit more so you can see. So they're saying initial caps and center, as you know. So PTA, right? These letters will be capitalized, as I said, initial caps. So you type the information as displayed there. Right here, we have topic, venue, date, time, right? Basically, those are the headings, right? And the information aligned to the headings. Let's see what they're saying in the instruction. So right here, it says align left, 2 tabs between listed items. All right, so you type topic and you press the tab key twice, right? Basically. So you press the tab key twice, you know when you press the tab key once, it brings you half inch away from the margin. All right. So you press that twice, right, for each of them. So you type topic, you press the tab key twice, venue, you press the tab key twice, date, right, and so on. I remember all of this. These headings. So venue and date should not be here, they should be left aligned, right? So all of them should be in one position to the left. All right, insert the date of PTA meeting from the letter. Now remember from the letter, the date, I can scroll back up. There should be a date displayed there. All right, see it here. So you're going to insert this date Friday, May 29, 2026. All right. So that should be there. The time is 4:30. Everything is good. So you remove all, you put teaching staff, members of the, you spell this out, association, and everybody knows that SHD would be should, right? So here say type in full, that's what they're talking about, the association. All right, so the name and the position of the person align to the right. So you're going to right align that. And right here now, the last thing we have is the footnote. So this is the next thing that, some persons may not remember how to do. So we're going to show you how to do that. All right. So in doing a footnote, this footnote is quite easy or quite simple. All right, we find the footnote option under references. All right, as footnotes has to do with reference. When you want to reference text, it's displayed. When you want to make reference to text in a document. All right, so right here we see insert footnote. So you see A, B, and a little one at the top. All right, and in the question, that's what they have as their footnote symbol. Right, they have the number 1. That can also be changed, but we're not going to get too much into that. All right, we're just going to show you. So we simply just press insert footnote. A number 1 will come right here. All right, and a number 1 will also be displayed at the bottom of the page with a line, right? A line above, right? So this line separates the footnote text from the text in the body of the document, right? We call it the note separator. But yes, so after doing that, you type this information that is in the footnote. Please notify the secretary if you are unable to attend meetings. So see the same line here. So they didn't draw any line right here, students. Upon inserting the footnote, it displays a little, as you see, number 1 right here, all right? And you know the number 1. So here is where you'll insert it. You click at the end of the word of the G right here, and you no space, and you press as said. Let me do it again. Right at the end of the word, all right? You go to references, and you just press insert footnote, and it will display the 1 right there. And you write please, upon caps lock, please notify. All right, you type out the information right there. All right, simple as that. Oh, right here I didn't show this. So right here I'm going to insert the open and the close quotations, right? So you put one here as displayed. All right. So let me just show you how it is supposed to look. We don't want to type every single thing, right? That's what question 2. Right. So basically this is how it's supposed to look. All right. You use the same letterhead. All right, as I showed you how to put the spacing, 1.5 point spacing between the letters. All right, Parent Teacher Association, initial caps, type information as displayed. And as I said, topic, you have topic here, and you would press tab key twice, right? So you press the tab key twice and I bring it back. So 1, 2, all right, as seen. 1, 2. All right, so that's supposed to be 2 and 2 and 6. So 2's, you press the tab key twice as displayed, type information as displayed. This will go to the right, so you right align that. As instructed, it was to the left. They instructed you to put it to the right. And as I showed you how to insert the footnote, right? Remember, insert it here. One will come up here and you type the information as displayed. Full marks, right? That's what you were expected to do. All right, students. So that's for the question 2. And you save it as instructed. All right. So we're going to move on. You get full marks if you do it in that manner. You save it as notice of meeting. All right. So I'm going to move on now to question 2B. Now, question 2B is a chairman's agenda. All right, to a chairman's agenda. Now it says using the letterhead template created, so the same letterhead that you would have used in question 1. Prepare a chairman's agenda to be printed on A4 paper, A4 or letter size paper. All right, nice. So A4 or letter size paper. All right. So what you would do, you could use the same letterhead, all right? So you can open the letterhead section or the header section and you copy. I'm just gonna do that. Copy, file, new. All right, so you have a new blank document. You open the header and you insert it, right? Simple as that. All right. And you close and then you will begin doing the chairman's agenda. All right. So A4 our letter size. So we don't have to change it. We are on letter size by default. All right. Apply the following page setup. All right. Let me just show both screens at once. All right. So we can skip a line. So margins, remember we go to layout, go to margins, custom margins. For left, they're saying it's 0.5. For right, it's 1.5. And there's no instruction for the top and the bottom margin, right? So we press OK right there. For the font, it's the regular Times New Roman as instructed, size 12. And they're saying line spacing is 1.0 single. All right. So let's look. So the chairman's agenda. So you have your chairman's agenda in the middle, of course. All right, Times New Roman and size 14. That should be on size 14. You have parent, Parent Teachers Association. All right, in bracket you have PTA. Extraordinary General Meeting. All right, let's see if I'm following the instructions. So both of these two set of information must be on Times New Roman TNRC in size 14. All right. So you type out this section, that would be to the left. They're saying single line spacing. You should have it on single line spacing. All right. So I'm just going to type out this section and then show you. So let me change this to 12 before I start. So extraordinary general meeting. Now notice we have some underline under the E, so the extraordinary must be capitalized, the G must be capitalized right here, and the M for meeting must be capitalized. The extraordinary general meeting of the PTA, right? I'm just gonna write PTA for now, is to be the schools auditorium, right? On Friday, May, Friday 29th, May 2026. at 4:30. All right. So you're finished right there. Can skip one or two lines. You put item here. All right. Item is in bold. And I'll be so clear right here. Or some it's in bold. All right. And you'll have notes over there. All right. I can put it from now. You can type to a suitable position. So you can always fix it after. All right. So right here, let me just enlarge the screen. All right here is a return abbreviation PTA. So you weren't supposed to type Parent Teachers Association here. You're supposed to leave it as PTA. All right, so right here, new paragraph as you see, call to order should be the heading and the chairman official that will start paragraph. So it will come underneath, right? So it'd be like basically a shoulder heading. The call to order will be a shoulder heading as the chairman. This information will come underneath it. All right, over here, says apply 2 columns and 7 rows and remove grid lines for agenda items. All right, so 2 rows. So basically, so persons may have been confused as to what exactly the arrow points here, and it says what they wanted you to do, right, or what they're instructing you to do is to insert a table, right? Insert a table as it says, 2 columns and 7 rows. So you're going to insert a table with 2 columns and 7 rows, so a 2 by 7 table. And then it says remove grid lines. So the grid lines are basically the borders that they're talking about, right? The lines that show the separation between the rows and the columns. So you're going to remove that. You should know how to do that. We'll show you how to do that as well. All right, but that's what you're expected to do right here. You see apologies, a broken line circle in this case, right? Basically, they're telling you that they're just showing you that this is the actual word. It's not really clear, right? So they're showing you that's the actual word. All right, you're going to remove that. Note, enumerate all agenda items and apply initial caps and bold to the shoulder headings. All right. So enumerate, you know that you put a numbered list. And right here, they're basically saying for the headings, you use initial caps. So the first letters, so the new and the business, right? The N and the B would be capitalized, the O and the D would be capitalized, and so forth. All right. Any other instruction? No. All right. So let me just show you what you were expected to do. So after doing, not this one. Yes, so this one. So after doing all that, I said, you go to insert table, and they're saying it's 2 columns and 7 rows. So 2 by 7 as said. All right. So you put number 1 here. You can put a full stop. It's going to automatically put it in a number list for you. Everybody's times Roman and size 12. All right. And you can always resize it if you want afterward. All right. Just type in the information first. Let me show the question. Let me show both screens. All right. So right here, as seen, you'll have call to order. All right. So call to order. And remember, you skip a line, you remove the number 2 in this case. All right. This information should be a boss. You write out the information. The chairman officially opens, right? So you type out that information as you see displayed there. You type out all that information. Go to the next one, you put your number 2, right? And you have opening, right? You skip a line and you continue typing your information. All right, you can always put the number 1 right here, number 2, number 3 for the notes. All right. And you could put the notes right here if you wish to do so. All right. So basically, that's how it will be set up. So let me just show you the completed question. So that's what question 3, not question 3, question 2B. All right. So this is how it basically will be set up. I'm going to show you how to remove the grid lines. All right. Basically, that's how they would want it to be displayed. All right. So let me show you. So right here, go on the question first. Right here on the question, it says remove grid lines for agenda items. So in doing it in that way, you will be following the instruction. Notice I only remove the lines that are around the item. See it? Item right here. Then you say anything about notes, right? So the agenda items, I remove the grid lines, but I left the lines for the notes section, right? That should not be a problem as you're following the instructions as displayed, all right? So what you could do, as say, let me just enlarge this. What you could do, I can show you it on the completed document. Okay, so this is what we would have here, right? When it's complete, and what you would do to remove the lines, you click on the table itself right here. You'd have the borders option, and you could click no border, right? So no border would remove all the lines as seen right there. All right, remove all the lines. So it all depends on what you want. So right here, I removed all the lines. Now I can actually add the lines that I want right here. So I can add the lines that I want right here, as you see. I highlighted only this section and added the grid lines, right, or the borders. All right. If you leave it like that, I don't think it should be a problem either, right? But as the instructions said, it said remove the lines from the agenda items, right? So I did it in this manner, right? Following the instruction clearly, all right? So basically that's how that one would look, or that question, complete question should have looked, all right? So moving on to the other question. All right, so after this chairman's agenda question, then we have for question 3, it was an Excel question. Now, if you realize this Excel question is similar to that of the one in the specimen paper, basically set up in the same manner, right? Instructions and all of that. Similar to that of the one in the specimen paper, right? From the syllabus. All right, so if you would have watched that section in the video, did the spreadsheet, you should have had no challenge in doing this question. All right, it's quite straightforward, as I said, just like the one in the specimen paper as it relates to the instructions to create a graph and all of that. But let's go through it as quickly as possible. So it says utilize suitable application, type the document below in portrait orientation, format document using Times New Roman, right? Basic instructions. All right, apply the following formatting features, center the table horizontally and vertically on the page, calculate estimated total, calculate total cost, display all major grid lines. We're going to create a column chart on a separate page, right? Comparing categories of artificial intelligence tools The chart must show a suitable title, the data labels at the top, a legend, legend clearly displaying estimated cost, and then save it as AI tools. All right, so let's look at it. All right, so this is the table with the information. All right, quite simple table, straightforward table. All right, so let's go to Excel. So we go to Excel, we create this document right here. Hold on, let me try to display both screens at once. All right, so you're on your Excel document as displayed, Times New Roman and all of that. You can apply that at the end of it all. Right? But let's follow the instructions as displayed. So the instructions are quite clear. The instructions are quite clear. I'm just gonna type some of the information there to show you what they want to display it at the end. All right. So right here we have the two headings there saying Times New Roman, 14 bold and center. Now, in this case, it's Excel, we can just press center and information goes in the center, right? Over all this information displayed here. Therefore, we'll have to apply the merge and center feature, right? Now, how do we determine, right? I would have already talked about determining how to determine how to merge or from where to merge information. So we have category, right? So columns are designated by letters. So this is it will be A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So it's A to F. So we'll highlight from A1 to F1. We'll apply merge and center, all right? And we have the same thing right here. A2 to F2, and we'll apply merge and center, all right? So comparative analysis, detailing the cost of, all right? And we'll type it as we see it, all right? Artificial intelligence tools utilized in educational environments. All right. Okay, make it a little larger. We can see everything. Okay. So we'll follow necessary instructions as seen. So right here, these two. Right here should be on Times New Roman, as they said. We can type it in Times New Roman and size 14 and bold. All right, so we follow that instruction. Times New Roman, size 14 and bold. All right, more than likely is the same thing for right here. All right, as both of them are basically like the heading for the information. Now, as you are seeing some of the information is being cut off, but we'll fix that. All right, we'll fix that as we go along. All right, we just want to ensure that we follow the instructions clearly. All right. All right, so right here we have category, percentage use, tool name, and so forth. So we're gonna type some of the information, then we're going to just show you what you're instructed to do. We're gonna type out everything. All right, we've already basically done the question. All right, so you should have category here. Should have percentage use. Yes, percentage use. Now you may be saying, oh, percentage use looks like this. So the wrap text feature is applied. So anytime you see information underneath, right, or you see a word underneath another word, right, you know you can't press enter, right? If you press enter to go to another cell, right? So it's not like Microsoft Word where you type something and you press enter and it goes to the next line, right? So see, as you are seeing, percentage is at the top, use is underneath and it's in the same cell, right? So to do that, we apply what we call the wrap text, right? And we can always format it so it looks exactly as displayed, right? And we go back to the instruction. So I have percentage used there, I have tool name, I have purpose, slash use case. All right. I'm going to enlarge this. It's not, wrap text has not been applied, therefore, and no instruction said that, so therefore we type it. Only cost per student. Wrap text is applied here. So I use it there. I want it to look as how it looks on the question. All right, so monthly cost per student and dollar sign is supposed to be there as well. All right, that's how it looks. And then the last thing is estimated cost. And then wrap text is applied there as well. All right, simple as that. So this they're saying it must be in bold, you know, it's Times New Roman as they instructed you to use. So to be in bold, initial caps, remember the first letters, and center, of course, must be in the center. Now, right here it's center, both vertically and horizontally. So use this center as well. All right. I try to get it to look as displayed. All right. So yes. So you type in the information. Let me just enlarge the screen and show you what you're expected to do, and then I display it. All right, so right here, we have already done this. All right, show you how to use a wrap text. It's supposed to be in bold. The first letter of the words must be capitalized. Now, right here, learning platforms, you see you have number 2 right here, writing assistance. Number 1 is right here. Therefore, this information must be at the top. This information must come second. All right, so you're going to switch that or transpose, as they say in EDPM, right? You transpose that. You don't see the sign or the symbol TRS, but as you're seeing, these two arrows, right? They're telling you to switch. All right. Autofill formula. So we're going to use formula right here to get the estimated cost. All right. Right, align all these items in these columns and apply format to currency with 2 decimal places. All right, we'll show you how to do that. Center align items in these columns and initial caps. So you're going to put everything right here should be in the center of the cell. All right, analyze must be in the center as well, initial caps. All right. Up here it says apply percentage sign to figures. So right here you have 72%. So this percentage symbol, right, it must be applied to all the other numbers. Right. So you're going to write 48% and so forth. All right, let me see if I miss out anything else. All right, now right here, this is the only figure that has four dollars, right? So it has the dollar sign, it has the decimal point, right? And you have the 2 zeros, all right? Represent cents. So for it to look like this, you have to apply the currency format, all right? So you're not going to type it in. You're going to put all of them on 5, 6, 3, and all of that, and then you apply. When you apply the currency format, it will automatically change it to monetary figures, right? So it will automatically look like this. All the figures will look like that, all right? So I'm just going to, not going to type out everything else, just going to display it as I already typed the information, all right? So I hope we are good with the explanation thus far. So let me just open up the question 3. It's question 3, I think. All right. So right here, this would be how it looks when it's completed. All right. I'm just going to erase this. I'm going to erase all this information, the total, all of that. So press undo. So I'm going to delete. It should be deleted as well. All right. And I'm going to change this to just number. Or put it on general. All right. So we have the numbers right here. Remember the percentage and all of that. All that you were supposed to do. All right. And the headings as displayed. So there, the instruction said that we should put all these figures on currency format. All right. So I didn't type any $sign and any fulls and any dot and the 2 zeros. All I had to do was go here and put it on currency format, right? And it will automatically change. I highlight this section as well. They said to put the 2 columns on it. I don't need to highlight the entire column. This is where the information, the figures will stop, right? And I put it on currency as well. All right, so when I put in a figure or do a calculation, it will automatically put it in monetary figures or currency. All right. Now the instruction, let's see what the instruction said. They made it easier for you, so you didn't have to figure out how to get the estimated cost. Right here it says calculate the estimated cost. It's 1,500 multiplied by the monthly cost per student. That's how you get the estimated cost. Calculate total cost includes monthly cost, and right, so we'll show you that now. So for this right here, to get the estimated cost, they say that you must multiply 1,500 by that. So it's quite simple. So in this case, we will put equal sum open bracket, right? I remember they said it's 1,500, right? We put a star for the multiplication sign, and in this case, it would be the cell address where we have $6. So it's in E, column E, and row 4. So we put E4 and see it's highlighted. All right, we press enter. All right, 1,500 multiplied by 6. Right, and we know we get 9,000 right there. And we can use the shortcut method that I showed you, right? How to apply the formula to the other cells and get the answers without actually typing in the formula over and over. See? All of them. All right, so the formula displayed here, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, and you can see that the figures are actually correct. All right, now afterwards, they want you to get the total cost, and they said that total cost for both the estimated and the monthly. So all you do, you highlight downwards, you apply the auto sum feature, right? So everything here should add up to 36, and you can add up everything here, auto sum again, 54,000. All right, so we're good right here. Another instruction. So after doing that, display all major grid lines, right? So after you type up everything, remember these lines won't automatically be displayed, right? So after you type this up, after you type up everything, it will look like this, right? So if I should go to file and print, you would see that there's no lines showing. These are basically like imaginary lines, right? Your lines to guide you as you type the information. But if you should print without putting the border, it would be like the information be displayed without borders to show separation. All right, so you highlight all the information that you have typed, or the cells that contain information that you have typed, and you apply the all borders option. All right, go back to file and print, and we'll see that the lines are there. All right, so that's what they are talking about as it relates to the grid lines. All right, let me see anything else that's not followed. So we have done that. Creation of the chart. All right, so as it relates to the chart, let me see if we miss out anything. All right, we're good so far. So creation of the chart. Create a chart on a separate page comparing the categories of artificial intelligence tools with the estimated monthly subscription cost. All right, the chart must show so title, data labels at the top, and a legend showing the estimated cost. All right. So what they actually want to this be displayed is the estimated cost, right? They don't want, it says monthly estimated cost, not the monthly cost per student, in estimated cost, right? So you have to read the instructions carefully, right? For each category. So they want a comparison showing category and the estimated cost. You know, we can't highlight every single thing to do so, right? As we don't want every single thing in the chart. They only want the category. So we'll highlight category. We'll hold down on the control key, CTRL, and we'll highlight the estimated cost. All right, I highlight too much information. So we'll highlight the estimated cost, not the totals, right? And what type of chart is it again? Go back to be clear. And it says column chart, right? So we use a column chart. So we go to insert, go to chart right here, could press recommended button. And we'll use a simple 2D column chart. All right. So right here we have the title. We could add elements, can change it up how we want it to look, right? It all depends on what you want to do. All right. Well, we're just going to manually insert necessaries. So we have the estimated cost as the heading. We'll change that. We'll just add the other elements. Remember, it said they wanted a legend. So we put a legend that clearly shows estimated cost. They said they also wanted the data labels at the top. All right. So why is it not showing? Let me click on the chart. Okay. Data labels. All right, so not in the center, not at the end, not at the base, right? It's at the top, right? So that's where they want it to be displayed. All right. They want a suitable heading. All right. So a suitable heading can be comparison. What they ask you for, you should put. All right. Comparison of categories of artificial intelligence tools with estimated monthly subscription cost. So you can put that same thing as the suitable title. They didn't give you an exact title to put, so you can put that. All right. I could put this comparative analysis of monthly costs categories of all right. So we could put that as our heading and we would be good to go. We can make it larger and all of that. All right, so as you're seeing, the category, artificial intelligence categories, and then we're seeing the figures over here. All right, so you could apply the axis titles. No instruction said you were to do that, but you can apply them by going right here, chart element, right, axis titles, and you can apply those as well, right? So right here, you could have estimated cost, and down here you could have category, artificial intelligence category, tools category. All right. But as said, the instruction didn't ask for the axis titles to be displayed. So if you don't put it, it doesn't matter. All right. Now afterwards, they said you are to put it on a separate sheet. All right. Now I already done that, but I can do it again to show you. So you add a new sheet, right? You copy it and then you paste it right here. All right. And you can always change the name. All right. Chart, or column chart, or whatever. All right. So you can change the name of it. Just put chart because it requires me to see it. All right. So you put it right there. You put column chart. I already have it already, as I said. Column chart. All right. And you will be finished with that question. Let me see if we missed out anything. So you save it as instructed and all of that, and you're good to go. All right. So simple as that, students, for the Excel question. All right, so we're going to move to the last question now. Question number 4. All right, so question number 4, all right, seems to be a display word. All right, it says use graphical software to display the information presented below. All right, prepare using following setup steps. All right, just use this document. I already have this document, let me just use it. All right, so the instructions for this says paper size is legal. Let me just display both. So paper size, so go to layout, paper size is legal. Portrait orientation, we already have it on that. Margins is 1 inch all around. Yes. See, we have it on normal. Apply a page border. We can do that from now. We find that under design, and we go to page border. Go to page border, we can use a simple box border. All right. We press OK. And we have a box border right here. Resize objects to ensure that document is displayed on a single sheet. Okay. Correct or spelling error, save as infographic and upload to your folder. Okay. So this is what they want you to do. All right. So impact of artificial intelligence on students' learning. Word art. So you are supposed to use word art right here, Times New Roman size 18, warp or transform using stop. All right, these instructions, many person may not be so sure as to what they're saying right here, but we're going to show you, all right, exactly what you were expected to do. All right, hopefully you lose a lot of marks from that section. All right, but yes. So we go in the center, of course, and we will go to insert, we go to word art, right? So go to word art, we just choose anyone. All right, so you can choose this one, for example. Let me go display both screens so we can type it up quickly. All right, so impact of artificial intelligence on on students learn. All right. Size 18. So we'll change all of that. Times New Roman, they want size 18. Yes. But it's supposed to be underneath like that. All right. So this section where it says warp or transform, right? They're talking about a feature, right? That we use to enhance the way in which the word or text looks, right? So let me show you. And the part that says stop. So they want you to transform it into a stop. When it says stop, basically, as I say, is a feature. Right? Let me try to get it in the center. Maybe about right there would be center, right? Right. So we're going to edit this, right, as instructed. So you go to format, of course, and right here, you can change the word art color right here or whatever. All right, I'm just gonna leave it on blue, right? But you can change it right there. So right here you have text effects, the word art effects. Down here it says transform. Remember it says transform or warp or transform. So this is what they're talking about. All right. So see it says transform and then right here it says warp. All right. So it's not that one. It's that one. See it says stop. When I put the cursor on it, it says stop. All right. So there are a number of different features as you can use, but this is what they're talking about. All right. So you'll apply that one. And as you see, it looks similar to that of this. So basically, they want it to shape out like a stop sign, right? Basically, but that's what they're talking about as it relates to warp and apply stop, right? Or the transform option. All right, so that's good. So afterwards, go back. You are supposed to to insert a logo, right, and display it on both sides. All right. So the logo, as it relates to the logo, just go on that logo. It's not really clear right here. I'm just gonna put in AI logo. All right, and we just put in a logo just for the sake of this question. All right, I'm looking all over, but let me just use this one. Copy image and go. So now it's gonna come up large. Let's minimize the size, right? And apply the text wrapping option. So I put one here, copy it, put another one over here. All right, so just work with that. Too close. Work with that for now. All right, so you're supposed to insert the logo right there. You don't have to put it in the header. Could put it in the header, but the instruction said you were to do that. All right, so it's good. So let's continue. So after doing that, after following those instructions, you would insert a line. All right, so you insert a line. Now you could use unspace hyphen, but I think the line is more suitable. All right, so to get a line, you go to insert and shapes, right, and use a basic line, right? Basic line. So you start it from one end to the next. Start it maybe about here. You bring it to the next side. right? Maybe about there. You try to get it straight, all right? If it's not straight, you can always straighten it, but see it's on 0, so you know it's straight. I put it on black, all right? Let me enlarge the screen and see how it looks. All right, looks good. So after doing so, then you will type up the information. Zoom it out a little. So you type up the information as displayed there. All right, you know, you start at the left. So artificial intelligence, in bracket AI. All right, all of that. You type up all of that. Not gonna type it up. No, I don't want to make the video too long. It's already long enough. All right, or it will already be long enough. So I'm gonna type up everything. So after you type up the information, right, you insert another line. All right. So this same line can copy and paste it, but can always insert a new one, right? So you go back to insert and you use a line, a basic line. It starts, I'm gonna put it about right here and draw it over to the next side. I try to get it to be aligned with this one. I remember you try to get it to be straight. I'm going to make it lean on purpose. So if I made it lean right there, I could go to size, right? The height is 0.4. So this is how you straighten the line. The width increases the length of the line. The height ensures that the line is straight, right? So if it's on 0, see it, it's straight. All right. I would continue right there. So underneath now you have, underneath here now you would have positive impact. Now they're saying size 16. So you'd have positive impacts of AI. All right, or you type out artificial intelligence, as we see nothing that says to retain the abbreviation. All right, and then you would insert, as you know, the bullet, right? So use the check mark in this case, and you type out your personal learning, and all of that. All right, whatever it is, 24/7. All right, I'm not gonna type out everything. I will just look at everything else. So you type that out. After doing so, you're gonna insert an image. Now, when you go on Google, just type in a suitable image. It doesn't have to be the exact same image that they have. Right? Maybe you can type in children using a computer and a book, right? Whatever it is. Let me just type something in. All right, type 3 kids using computer and book and see if I see something come up. Right? So you, right, see it's actually there. So you click that one, you click on it, copy image, you go back to the document, right? I'm just gonna put something, all right? And I would say I'll insert it right here. So I just right click and insert, let me enlarge it. All right, so you know you minimize the size. I'm going to change the text wrapping to in front text, minimize it, and I'll put it right here. All right, for it to be displayed as seen. Now, on screen, you see a line in the middle, but it seems to me that they're instructing you to remove this line, right? So we're going to remove this line. We're not going to show, we don't have the line. So we're not going to insert the line right here, right? But if so, we just insert the line just as we insert these ones, right? You just insert it straight down. All right. So this case now, you know that we can use, this look like a thinking emoji, right? A thinking emoji. And this look like a call out. All right, so we'll insert this. So we go to Google and we can put thinking emoji. All right, see it here, thinking emoji. All right, I can maybe use this one. Copy image. We go to the document and we may insert it. All right, so insert it. Remember, we change the text wrapping option. I will minimize the size. All right. And then we go to shapes and we use a call out and we use this one, right? So it's a cloud call out as seen right here. All right. And then we bring this down or like that, just as though it is displayed on the document. All right. And you click on it and you type in negative impacts of AI. All right, simple as that. Now, right here, you see we have a box and enlarge the screen. So we see right here, we have a box. We have 3 boxes. Right here, it says TRS, transpose. So data privacy risk must be at the top. Reduce critical thinking must be at the bottom. All right. All right, we don't reach there yet. Let's do it step by step. All right, so these boxes, can insert them in different ways. We could actually use a smart art graphic to insert it, or we can use three boxes, right? Can use 3 squares, right? It all depends. But feel it's easier for you to use a smart art graphic, right? So let me just show you what you could use. So you could maybe go to insert and go to smart art and can use a list. You can go to list and see you have varying width list. All right, so see it, it looks basically like the one that is there. All right, it will come up a bit large. Can small it up. All right, you have to change the text wrapping. Let's give you a easy to move around. So we change the text wrapping and we get it to look how we want it to look. All right, so you just click inside the box and you type the information. It will automatically resize for you. Let me just do something. Let me just type one information. All right, so the first thing, remember the first thing is data privacy risk. All right, and you see it automatically resized. Academic integrity concerns. I was going to type them in. And the last one is reduced critical thinking. All right. So it will look like this. So let me see what it looks on here. So academic integrity concern, right? So you can resize, you can actually resize the shapes, right? Right to look, uniform, basically. So it will look like that, as seen. It's quite simple, quite easy to do. You can change the color, as you know, you should know. By going to format, shape, fill, you can change up the colors and all of that. You can change the color of the smart art graphic as well by going to change color, right? All of that. You can actually change it up. All right. What's the next thing? So afterwards, insert a line again. So I'm going to insert a line again and show you that little section down here. So I go back to insert, I go back to shape, line, and start it out right here. Right? Try to get it straight. Yeah, that should look straight. I use it as a black line. All right. If one looks taller than one, you can always bring it out. All right. So after that now, next thing should be key takeaways, caps, bold, and center. Right? So key takeaways, I said, caps, bold, and center. So key takeaways. Supposed to be on caps, bold, and center. Didn't say any size, didn't say any particular size. All right, just caps, bold, and center. All right, now right here we have the enlarge the screen. Right here we have, we see balance is key, digital literacy matters, ethical AI usage. Now, information is displayed beside each other, right? And it's a bulleted list. Now you might be wondering, how do I do a bulleted list, right? With information beside each other. Isn't a bulleted list downward in a row, right? But in this case, you can do it in two different ways. You can actually apply a column, right? Change this section into columns, or easier method is to use the table, use a table, insert a table and remove the lines, all right, to make it easier. So what you could do, you have the key takeaways and you skip your line, you insert a table, all right? So it will be just a table with three columns, all right? One row and three columns. So you now go to your insert right here, all right? So you put your bullets right here, and may display the screen so we can type in the information quickly and move on. All right, so right here, it is the center, so we'll put it to the left. So balance is key. All right, next one, digital literacy matters. I will fix that. The next one is ethical AI usage. Ethical AI usage. All right. So what we can simply do, just bring it up. So it looks like that. All right. I don't think these have to be in bold. So you can take off the bold. All right. And all we'll do now is remove the line. Right? No border. So see it looks normal, like as if it was typed normally. Right? So we'll move on. So afterwards now, right here, it says insert screenshot of chart created in Excel. All right, so you go back to your Excel question, you go to your chart, all right, you copy your chart. So you go to copy, you go back to the document, and you go paste. All right, you can use any one of the paste. All right, I think it should paste as picture because if we small it up, it's going to look jumbled. All right, so we use paste as picture instead. So paste as a picture. All right, and then we small it up. All right, and remember, we use the text wrapping option to make it easier to move. All right, so put it maybe about there. Now we can see the information. All right. Then afterwards now, over here, we have a box. I'll go back to it. We have a box with some information in it. All right. So you'll get an image from the internet. This is what a telephone, an envelope, and what's this? Looks like email, right? So you go on Google and you try to get that image. So phone, email, and what else? Envelope. All right, let's put letter. Let me see what will come up. All right, so we can maybe use this. All right, well, let me show you what to do first. So what you'll do, all right, as displayed, you'll insert. You can use a text box. So we go to insert. I will use text box. So we can use a simple text box. We erase what's in the text box. And we'll draw it about here. And we can resize it and all of that. All right, for it to look good. So let's see what's displayed inside. So inside the box, we'll type, so for more information, please call, and they have the information, Achievers High School, telephone 345 568 9444, fax CM 345 687. All right, comma, email achievers at brandkmo.com. All right, so you have your information. Remember, I think it's the Times New Roman and size 12, right? Times New Roman 12. The achievers looks rather larger, so we'll enlarge that. All right, so we put this downwards, put right there. Achievers is a bit larger and it's on bold, so we can change that. Put in about 14. All right, this is on bold as well. Seems to be on board as well. All right, so up here is where we want to insert the image. So I copied the image already. I think I copied the image. All right, now when we insert the image inside the box, it might give a little problem. So let me just insert it outside first. Okay, I didn't copy the image. Go back. All right, so we use this one. So copy image. And we go back to the document. I'll just insert it outside firstly. We get it like that. Now we minimize the size and all of that. Change the wrap text wrapping option. I will small it up. All right. Yeah, so that looks about good. All right. And that would be it. Let me see if anything else is there to do. So that would be it right there. Nothing else, no other instruction will be there for you to complete. That's how it will actually look. All right, so this is how your completed document should look. And type out everything, but it should look rather similar to this. All right, you can always draw it down a little bit more for it to look basically the same. All right. Simple as that, students. All right, so you follow all the necessary instructions. You should be good to go. All right, you should be good to go. That's how it should be. I've completed question, maybe look a little different. Let's see. But basically, that's how it should be. Right? So the completed question should look something rather like this. Right? Basically, something like that. All right, so remember about the warp and so forth. You go to format, went here, all right, transform and see it says warp. I'll use the stop, all right? The stop feature basically looks like a stop sign. Follow the necessary instruction, image, call out, right? We used a list, smart art graphic right here to create a list, which will be easier. We used shapes. I don't think it should be a problem, right? As long as you displayed it in the manner in which it is shown on the document. All right, so simple as that. So that's the end of the paper, students. As I said, rather easier than expected paper, right? You should have done rather well on this paper, and anticipating the paper one. All right. So I'm gonna stop there for now. Remember to like, share, remember to subscribe, and remember to turn on your notification bell. We'll be doing preparation for the paper one as well. So bear that in mind. We have the paper one coming up next. All right. So we'll do a video for that closer to the exam time to get you prepared to basically ace the paper one. All right. So remember, I'm the EDPM boss and I'm signing out for now.